Hello, Al. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Woo woo. Gonna raise the roof if you want to. Oh, wow. Three at once. Hi, hi. If you can let me know who's here. Hi, Brittany. How are you? Happy Friday. Friday. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. My name is Shan Myung. I am an independent beauty guide in training with Limelight by Alcone. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, so it is 9:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time where I'm at. And there's sometimes that I just cannot help but to say things that I have on my mind. And it's like I just can't wait and I don't want to write them down. I just want to talk about them with you all because I feel like I have some things to say and I have some valid points to make. Okay, so I'm going to try very hard to stick with my subject and to not veer off too much because I tend to go on 10 different tangents and sometimes lose myself. Okay, so I am currently a grad student. I am pursuing my master's in public health. This adventure that I've been on for the last 2 years took me a while to get to. This is my third or fourth attempt at my graduate degree, which is costly, time-consuming, and not easy at all to do when you already have a family. I have learned the hard way many things in my life, and this is one of them. There are times when I want to stop and not necessarily quit. Hi, Brittany. But I want to just pause for a moment. My husband is probably one of the greatest influences that I have, because he's so focused on finishing school ASAP, he kind of silently keeps me motivated to not do that, even though it wouldn't be bad for me, but he motivates me. Okay, so that's not my point. But I feel that I need to tell you the backstory in order for you to understand exactly what my point is in the end. So I have attempted, like I said, my master's more than once, more than twice, and more than 3 times. I've done this because originally when I started out, I wanted to do speech pathology. Hi! And I actually still really admire and respect people who do this line of work. I took 2 classes many years ago, and when you're working full time and you have a kid, and I was going through some, personal challenges in my life, it's not easy. And hi, Jenny. Good, happy Friday. It's not easy, and it wasn't easy for me, and I just think that a lot of life has to do with timing. Everything's got to kind of like click together, right? So I stopped, and I took some bad turns in my undergrad. I was not very smart about certain things that I was doing, and because of that, I I never went back to trying to get my master's in speech pathology. So now, fast forward years, a few years until recently, and I was really driven to just go back to school and just do it, just do it. So I did, and I chose to do initially a master's in like health administration or something like that, because I was in the billing field, the medical billing field, for close to 10 years. I sincerely hope to never go back, and I don't mean it in a very negative way. I just really burned out. Yeah. So, I'm getting to my point. Don't worry. So, my pathway to my public health program has not been an easy one. You know, I feel very inspired and motivated a lot of the time just because of the hardships and the challenges that I've gone through my life. About 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, no, it was 2014. I was pregnant, and the gist of things is that I was pregnant with my my second child, and because my first child was high risk, I was, going to the I was more closely monitored than a normal pregnancy would be. And they always told me that I had a robust pregnancy. Well, I ended up having a 10-pound tumor growing inside of me while I was pregnant with my second baby. So, they didn't know if it was cancer or whatever. The point of me saying that is that, I had my surgery, found out that it wasn't cancer. It was just a huge mass of a 10-pound tumor. Shortly after I had my surgery, I went through another major hardship, some personal issues. Every time that you go through struggles in life, challenges, whatever you want to call them, I don't care what it is. I call them challenges and struggles. And they have, even though I have, I've had a rough time, no doubt. I mean, there's absolutely no question in my mind that I've had a really hard time, and I've always been a naturally negative person. Okay. And I've had a lot of struggles with being able to successfully balance having a family, having even one baby. I've struggled so much with just trying to work full time in a job, literally a job that I just never felt, I just didn't like it. I grew to really burn out. That is the best way for me to describe it. And so, the reason that I'm saying all of these things, when I ended up, starting my my master's in health administration, and then I switched over to another one, which was related somewhat to, it was oh gosh, I can't think of it off the top of my mind. I don't want to keep you guys wondering, but it was related to the health field. Every class that I took, I would take one class because I didn't want to have a negative connotation on my record, so I would finish the classes. right? And then I would just say, okay, so this is not for me. I don't want to waste my money more so than I already have. So I need to switch my program, right? Because this is a long-term effort. It is really hard when you have children and you're married and you are struggling financially. When you're doing something that your heart is not in it. I had to learn this the hard way. It's like there's so much time, dedication, and sacrifice when you're doing school. And not just when you're doing school, but when you have a family already. This is my point. So I decided that it was just too hard. It was just too hard for me. Maybe the timing wasn't right. I don't know. So I stopped. And I eventually decided, okay, I'm going to put my foot down. And public health is just, it encompasses so many options, so many possibilities in the long run that I'm good. So public health is good, right? Excuse me. So the reason that I'm saying all this is because in all of this, I have learned that because I have a family now and because time is of the essence, time is very important to me. And for me to sacrifice and dedicate my time anywhere other than my family, it has to be worth it to me. I mean, seriously, like, I can't stress that enough. It really has to be worth my time and my effort. And it has to be, I have to feel it within, like, my heart and my soul. And also, my husband pretty much has to support me on it, or else it just doesn't work for me. That's just the way I go. So, with that being said, the reason that I'm saying all of these things is because you guys see me pretty passionately immersed into this company called Limelight by Alcone. And I'm pretty sure I know what a lot of you or some of you may be thinking. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. She just keeps posting and, making videos and talking and blah, 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 blah. Right? Thank you, Jenny. That's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, so I get it, right? Because if it was me, and I have been that person where it's just like, right? Anytime, hi Mimo, anytime that this girl wants to like post some pictures of her family, like, I'm there. But anytime, she's gonna post these videos, I'm just like, phew. And, oh, I get it, right? I totally get it. It's totally understandable. What you guys, sorry, that sounds condescending. What I would like people to understand about this whole thing within me is, and the whole principal point that I'm so desperately trying to make to you all is that I won't do something. I will not invest my time, my energy. I won't do it. I won't dedicate my time and energy into something that I don't fully believe in. Guess why not? Because I have a family. And I am insanely in love with my family. I can't even, I love my family. And, oh, hi. And I do this for them. And I know it's kind of weird because, these are these are the moments that you want to take out time for your children, your babies when they're really young. And yeah, you know what? It's not always fun. It's not always fun to work when you'd rather be spending really, really precious quality time with your kids. And I've never, I have never, I've never been so passionate about something that I have considered doing for a career. Ever, ever. I just haven't. I started out as a biller and I continued and it's almost like I got stuck in this biller hole, medical biller hole, if you will, where it's the only position that I could get unless I wanted to make a minimum wage. I mean, that was literally like, well, you don't have experience. So, and that's literally what you pretty much have to do. If you really, really want to change fields after so many years of no experience, you really have to just deal with it if you want it that bad. And I just didn't feel like I was in a place where I could do that. So yeah, the reason that I'm saying all these things is because I really wouldn't do this if my whole heart was not into it. That's my point. If I was single, it might be different, I mean, I'd still love it, but I wouldn't be so adamant about the fact that I devote so much of my time, and my time is of essence. I am 38 years old. I am the mother of 3 boys. 2 of them are super young, and it's really not fun to, it's just, I don't know, like I'm one of those people that would rather spend the majority of time with my kids, teaching them like ABCs, spending time with them, loving on them, all that kind of stuff. And when I'm working, I can't do that, right? I mean, well, it's a balance because I work at home. But still, just because you work at home doesn't mean that, you can just, yeah, it's a toss-up. But what I'm trying to say is, this is how much I know that, that it is worth my time, because I am so passionate about it, and I'm so in love with what I do. And that's my point. If I didn't fully believe in what I'm doing, I wouldn't do it, because I have wasted money, okay? I've wasted money. I will just stop. I will just stop because my heart's not in it. I started my master's in IO psychology, which is industrial organizational psychology. It is one of the highest paying psychology majors, and I learned the very hard way that with one class that I took, that it really doesn't matter, what you think you want to do, because if your heart's not in it, I just couldn't do it. I had the hardest time with one class. Jenny, I love this. Thank you so much. I know that you were, I'm like, I love what you do. Oh, yeah, yeah. I understand completely. Yeah, or not you, but I know for me, it was just really not good at all. And I think when you have a degree, it's, well, yeah, I have my own opinions on, people like me who have their degrees and you don't feel like it's paying off the way that it's supposed to, and it's very, 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 it's discouraging. It's really discouraging. And I'm not saying that for you, I'm just saying that for me. That is why I went back for my master's. It's a huge reason, because I just couldn't do it. I just could not do it. It's terrible. It really is. So I hope I got my point across, which is I invest my time, my energy, I sacrifice, I am dedicated, I am motivated, I am inspired. It is from my heart, it is from my soul. It is a passion that I had no idea it was going to be like this for me. If I wasn't wholeheartedly into it, I just wouldn't do it, because I love spending time with my family. And when, I don't even know what happened. I just love what I do, and I do it for them. So, for those of you who may think that, this is all just fun and games and playtime, and it's, not really like real, and, I'm just kind of like messing around and having like a good time, and it's just not like that. Yeah, I do have a lot of fun with it, but even in the fun that I have, like seriously, you guys, selfies have been my worst nightmare. Seriously. I know there's so many of you who take selfies like ain't no big deal, and that's great and everything, and I wish I was you. Seriously. I have struggled the worst with selfies. It's no joke to me. It has been a beast within itself. And you guys, for those of you who see me, like I've got my kids, and every time I'm on, they're almost always jumping into me, and so really, like I have these struggles, and it's not always easy. But there are really fun times, and there are major, major, major perks to becoming a beauty guide with Limelight by Alcone. I cannot stress that enough. The company itself is epic. Epic doesn't even describe it. And it's kind of like, just when you feel this much passion in your heart for a company, you want to share. You want your friends to get on board. You want everyone to try these products. You can't help it. And you know what's funny? I have heard other people in other companies, I'm not going to say any names, who